Hi everyone. I think people are yet to join. Probably we'll give them a couple of minutes time.
So just give them 2 minutes, like
Yeah,
should
I think let them give them a couple of minutes and we can start with it.
perfect.
So I think I can give you a quick intro by the time everybody is gonna come in.
Okay.
Actually, uh, so this is Prasad. I'm from DigiGrad, and DigiGrad is actually a startup that is powered by SocialBeat, which is one of the leading digital marketing company in India, and we are taking care of more than 200 plus companies. So today we are here for an interesting and interactive session on how to create a responsive website. And to take you through this topic, we have a special guest here, Mr. Vimal Michael. And I just give a couple of minutes time. So, and I'll just give an intro about our special guest here. I think we can start now. So coming back to Mr. Vimal, he is associate vice president with Social Beat, and he has 9 plus years of experience as a senior web developer with a demonstrated history of working in marketing and advertising industry predominantly. So, Mr. Vimal is skilled in HTML, CSS, PHP, WordPress, full stack developer, Amazon Web Services, and he has worked with a lot of popular brands like Jaguar, Boat, Tata Mutual Funds, Brigade Group, Trump Towers, Featherlight, etc. And also some of the business services like M-Fine, Gazana Journals.
Thank you,
So,
Prasad. So uh, welcome to this webinar, guys. So the whole idea of when DigiGrad team approached me and said like, hey, need to take a webinar on how to create websites. So I thought like that's like an interesting topic and it's kind of a very vast topic. So I was planning on how to kind of narrow it down for the viewers, how to make it more interactive as well as interesting. So responsive websites can be built in multiple ways. There are like through coding, through like online builder tools. So currently what we are going to see here is, because of the time constraint of 1 hour, like we are going to just focus on how to quickly build like a website using an online tool. So let's begin with that. Okay, so do you think like, do you really think like we need a website? That's like the first question when you ask yourself, like when you are on a platform like an online area, like think, do you require a website? That's like the first question. Okay, now the issue with the current world is like everything is online. Okay, and internet is like the most powerful marketing tool available, because it's kind of gives you like 24 bar 7 businesses, because any normal offline business can only operate from morning to evening. Apparently they have to close down at the night, but what websites gives you is like a 24-hour round the clock access to anyone across global, not just local. It's like all over the world they can view your website. And it's like it's an online brochure, right? Like it kind of showcase tells you about who you are, what are your service, what are you selling. So it's kind of like a like an image it gives you. It kind of creates like a online brochure. Instead of you printing hard copies of brochure and giving it, handing out to each and every person, it kind of saves you that money of printing money. And it kind of gives you like an online presence. And if you search over Google, yes, you are there. And it's kind of a self-influencing, right? Like you are, your website is kind of influencing about yourself, what your services is, what your brands are, what your brands work with, or how many people are working, or do you have any job openings, etc., etc. You can post anything and it's there on the website, people can view it, can approach you. Okay, and when you build a website, right, it's kind of everybody likes to show off. Correct, like website is kind of create what is that, if you can't build like a simple website, like nobody will come revisits again and again. Because if you kind of make it more catchy, more flashy, people do have like a knack of approaching those websites on a regular basis. Okay, like a fun website, yes. Now, like Bill Gates, when he told like if your business is not on internet, then your business will out of the business. This was, he told this when Windows 98 was launched, the operating system 98 was launched, and everybody was like thought, hey, he's kind of fool when he told all these things, because nobody took it seriously. Nobody thought of the future which we are present right now, right? But Bill Gates thought about it, and everybody laughed actually, because nobody even thought of having an a business online, right? It was like everybody was kind of having like an offline business which was working like quite nicely. Now everything is online right now. Yes, that was what Bill Gates predicted, and that's what happened. Now, you know what is the advantage of website. Now what is the advantage of a responsive website? Now responsive is something like which can be open on across all the devices. You don't have to develop on a different platforms. Like for a mobile you have to create like a different set of website, or for a desktop, or for a laptop, or for a tablet, you have to create like 4 different varieties of website. Nothing like that. It's kind of gives you the current website, the responsive website. You create one website, it should automatically adapt to multiple sizes. Like for example, for mobile, you create one for desktop, it should automatically adapt for tablets, for laptops, for big screens, for mobiles. Correct. So that's how the responsive website should be. Okay. Now, what is the advantages? It kind of gives you like a wide audience, right? It attracts. Now, imagine some audience which have to open its a desktop website on your mobile. Okay, like on a mobile, you're opening like a desktop site, like a huge site. You have to scroll. It's kind of quite painful for one user, right? To kind of navigate through those. It will be very small, the text will be readable, you always have to zoom and see what is happening. So it's quite painful, right? Now when you have like a multiple variations of your website which is responsive, so for each screen it will be like a different responsive view. So that's what kind of creates, it attracts, right? And it kind of gives like the user experience which people really deserve, right? So it kind of creates a happy feeling for the user or for the customer who's using that. So that's what we are trying to do, right? That's what we, the by creating websites, we are asking the users to come to our site, make them feel happy about their presence on the website so that they'll be happy, drop a lead if they are interested, definitely. Yes, that's what we are, right? Now, monitoring analytics, yes, if you have like multiple sites for multiple devices, you have to have like a different analytics installed for them. So multiple analytics might create like a tracking issue, which might lead to like a lot of complications. Now, if you have one website with multiple responsive, uh, can be adapted to different devices, one analytic code will be enough, which can like analyze across the devices. Easier to maintain, yes, because having four different websites for four different screens is much better than having one website for four different screens. And boost for SEO, as same similar to analytics, you don't have to like kind of give different SEO points to work with on a different sites. Okay, bounce rate will be increased and improve conversion rates. The speed of the website is will be faster if you kind of create a responsive website. Now imagine opening a desktop website which is having a video and images, which is kind of having a huge size for viewing for a desktop. Now if you're opening for on a mobile, obviously the speed will be impact. So it will impact the speed. Right now what will happen, people will lose interest because your website is not loading, and they might like end up going to your competitor, which is also not a happy feeling, right? So that's the reason why people are kind of creating responsive devices. Now this is the display shows like one of a website which is kind of responsive for three different, one is for desktop or laptop, another thing is for a tab, and the third one is for a mobile. So you can imagine like how smooth the transition is. Sorry. So how smooth the transition for from a desktop to a mobile, right? It should automatically adapt to each screen. That's what the responsiveness of a website, kind of a pure responsive website will adapt to any screens. So our agenda is like how to reach that. Yes. So we will be covering on like how to do that. Now uh, like when you kind of want to build a website without using any website builder tool, right? So what are the things which you require? So first is, for any website you will require a domain. Domain is something which, through which you can identify what exactly is your website will be called. For example, I work in a social beat, so social beat website will be socialbeat.in, right? That's the domain name of the website. Okay, that's how it will be known as. Like anybody who want to search on Google, they'll be searching like, hey, social beat digital marketing. If they want, if social beats are like multiple social beats are coming, so be more precise here, social beat digital marketing. So it will kind of give you the first name, which is socialbeat.in. That will be my website. Or Digigrad, for example, digigrad.in, right? Now, when you view it on a Google, that's how it will be, right? The domain name, which will be showcased on the top taskbar of your browser, that is the domain name. Okay, server is where you kind of keep your files, host your website, and you kind of connect your domain name and the server together, so that, so server is kind of a folder on your system, as simple as that. Giving you an example, using a system like you use your computer, right? So you have C drive, E drive, D drive, right? So if you are installing a software on your D drive, okay, and you have like an icon which is there on the desktop, when you double click it, it knows, right, hey, the website, sorry, the software is installed in D drive. It will automatically fetch and it will run. As simple as that. Server is something as simple as that. It's kind of a system where I have been given like a folder where I have to host my website. I host it, and the domain is kind of the naming functionality. When I kind of point my domain to that particular folder, it will always fetch that folder out of the entire system. Okay, so two things primarily require for website to build is domain and a server. Okay, after that, once that is done, you will require like a multiple people to build your website. That is like a UX specialist. So user experience, someone who kind of knows the market of how your brand has to be. Okay, you can't like you have a area which is like, you saw a website which is quite classy, which is for a real estate website. Now you own a hospitals. Now you can't create something similar website or copy the entire real estate website for a hospital website, because the user experience for uh, real estate is totally different than for a hospital. Okay, so that's where you need like a experienced UX specialist who knows the domain, which UX fits better for your domain, for your industries, or for your business. Once that is set, the UX person has to work with a content specialist who kind of gives you the content for your particular website. Once that is done, UX and the content kind of finalize with what needs to be done. Everything is forward to a web designer who kind of research on how your website needs to look in a design front. Okay, creates a prototype of a website in a design in kind of an image format. Okay, that's what is given to a web developer who kind of develops it. Now, once that is developed, it's not stopped. Now it has to be like a quality check of each and every functionality, which is like the website is loading properly, whether it's loading in a fast manner, or it's having all the functionalities, is if there is any alignment issue or a spelling mistakes, or the form is working correctly. So that's what the tester or a quality analyst does. Now, after that, you want your website to be showcased on a Google. Like, people needs to search on your website for your website, and it should appear on Google, right? So that's why you need an SEO specialist who will put keywords for your website and make it like submit to Google, so that whenever somebody searches, your website is there. So you need this many things if you're not using any online builder. Now, for example, if you are using like an online builder tool, you need just a domain, you need like a website builder site account. Okay, account and some content, some images. Now for images, you might need a designer, or you can just download from the internet, which is not copyright. Okay, copyright protected. Now you can't use images which are copyright, because that might penalize you. Now content also, like, you can't just copy from the internet, because that will lead into plagiarism, and that also might penalize you. Google might penalize you. So the best thing is like, you hire you can write your own content, or you use some online builder tool which will give you all this things like images for content, and like domain. Yes, absolutely, you have to purchase. So, and account in a website builder tool, yes, you might need to purchase depending on whether the based on the requirement. Now, these are like the best free website builders of 2021. Now, if you're just going to start on a website, now you don't know when you want to launch, you can always go with this. So these are like, I have noted down, like, based on the popularity. Now, Wix is kind of on a leading thing. It's quite famous. It's all rounder. It has everything. So it has like a what is that? AI functionality, which kind of, based on the answers based on the questions which they ask, we answer them, and based on that, it kind of gives us an output of the website or the theme of the website. Okay, which I will be showcasing. Now, Weebly is ideal for a small business, but there are some issues. Site 123, it's having great designs, but also perfect. Now, WordPress, which you might have heard for the last couple of, like, it's out there for a long time, it's kind of leading, but apparently it's best for blogging. Now, WordPress.com has an online presence. You can install it. like manually. You can download the files, upload on a server and run it. That's also there, but you need to have like a little bit knowledge about the tech aspect, like a PHP or HTML and stuff like that. Sorry, MySQL and stuff like that. So PHP and MySQL is what you will be requiring a little bit knowledge to install a WordPress, but you have like an online WordPress.com where you can automatically, like, you don't have to install it. You just go there, create an account and start creating websites. Now, Wix is kind of, as I told, like it's a best all-round builder website. It has like a lot of features. It's like a lot of creativity platform where you can like experiment, research, do multiple things, do R&D and stuff for your website before taking it live. So I will be showcasing like how to do that in a simplified way in a short span. I'll be uh, taking you through Wix from starting from creating an account, which I'll be telling you through the slides, and the remaining I already have an account which I've created, but I'll create how the AI functionality of a Wix works, and we'll take it after that. So this is about Weebly, which is also good. It kind of gives you, so regarding Wix, what happened is like you don't have an option because it's free. Like if you are using a free account, you don't have an option to kind of add a domain to this. You just have to use some domain which Wix gives you. So it's kind of if I kind of host a free website in Wix, so my website will be known as wix.com/Vimal Michael. Okay, that's where my website will be stored. That's how it will be accessible. Now, if I have to connect my domain, vimalmichael.com, like I have to purchase either from Wix or I have to upgrade a plan of Wix for a year. Now, if I upgrade the plan for a year, it kind of gives me a free domain, access to a free domain for a year. So Wix is kind of better on comparing with Weebly and WordPress. The WordPress is best because it's been there in the market for a long time now. It has kind of a variety uh, of themes and kind of a lot of plugins. So comparing with Wix and WordPress, WordPress will obviously win, but because the themes and because they have like a variety of free themes and paid themes, which is kind of in lakhs. And apparently Wix has only around like 500 plus themes. And comparing with the plugins, plugins uh, are what is it? Mm, kind of a widget kind of thing. Like if you require a form on the website and you want to collect all the data on the backend, so you kind of install a plugin which kind of allows you to do that. That's what a plugin. Or you need a slider or a gallery which needs to have like a fancy gallery and stuff like that. You will have sliders, you have plugins for that. So that's what the plugin is. It's like somebody written a code, so we don't have to hard code it. It's just like a easy simple plug and play, as simple as like plug in a pen drive and playing a video or a movie or playing a song, as simple as that. So Wix has like a 200 plus like apps. In which Wix it's called app, and in WordPress it's called a plugin. It's that's the only difference, but both are having the same functionalities. So yeah, WordPress is kind of better in terms of, because it's there in the market for a long time and people are quite reliable on WordPress than Wix, and Wix is kind of a newbie, but the range of experience or the things which kind of Wix provide is quite extraordinary. So that's what the Wix is far better than like any other platforms right now. So it's just like how to use Wix is like I have 11 points on how to kind of use Wix. Now, Wix is primarily for creating websites, okay, and online stores, portfolios, and blogs if required. Now, if you guys really want to create blogs, So if you're creating blogs, you want your website to create only blog, don't go for Wix. My idea is like Wix is only for like an online store or a website. But if you really want blogs, you go for WordPress. Now, if you want like a personal website or a business website, online store, as well as the blog, then you can use Wix. Now, my only concern is like if you're only want websites who can be a blog, that's it, nothing else, no other content, then go for WordPress. Okay, so yeah, Wix, like it's like sign up with Wix, create an account, as simple as that. Okay, now once you do that, you like pick a type of website. So I'll altogether 9, and you just require 30 minutes to create a website in Wix. That's it. 30 minutes is what now, like a fresher, like who will be using Wix for the first time, will only require max to max only 30 to 40 minutes, 45 minutes. That's all. That's that's the advantage of Wix. Okay, now signing up with Wix, you will have like a screen like this where you have a function called get started. And when you click on that get started, it will be uh, creating a first site. It will automatically ask, it will give you like an AI format of like what, answer a few questions and to help the Wix platform. And based on that, based on your answers, it will kind of give you like a scenario of multiple choices. So first thing is like, whom do you want to create the site for? Is it for myself, as a client, or a company I work for, or somebody else? Okay, right? So if you create myself, right, now it will ask you ADI. It's uh, Wix has like an ADI, which is like the artificial intelligence of Wix. And either you can go with that, which I suggest is the best. Or if you already know Wix, what Wix does, and you know, like, hey, I just need an ADI determining what kind of website I want. I'll just go with the Wix editor and I'll kind of choose my template and I can start hosting, like coding for the website. So you guys can go for that. Now, if you choosing ADI will be easy because after a point, it will be like quite simple. Okay, now after that, it kind of asks you like, what is the type of site you want? For example, it's a marketing agency or like an educational institute or non-profit or any store and stuff like that. So based on your suggestion, it will give you like the ideas. Now, based on that, it will kind of ask you like, do you want like a booking form to kind of have like an online booking, or do you want like a chat option? So these are kind of recommendations from Wix. You can select or deselect all these things. If you require a blog, if you require like an online store. Okay, so once you select that, you kind of choose a template, which is what, based on the fonts, based on the color, it will kind of gives you different there are like a lot of themes or colors to choose from. So you can choose, and even if you choose here, it's fine, because later when you are viewing the page, you can change at that point. It's not like you are finalizing here, it's okay. So that's where Wix allows you to do all the R&Ds. Okay, whatever you want to do, it's kind of a playground where you can play with multiple things. You kind of there's no wrong in this. Okay, everything what you do is like, if you don't feel it's correct, you can always change it. That's what the advantage what Wix gives you. Nothing is permanent here. Okay, so Wix ADI is artificial intelligence designer, which is kind of designs. It will kind of gives you like, it will customize automatically based on whatever details we want. Okay, it will kind of gives you like multiple uh, pieces where you want. Okay, so I can start with a quick demo on Wix. I'll just stop the sharing here. because I just need to share something different. Okay, just give me one moment. Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of a Wix screen. Uh, okay, so it's like a homepage of Wix, wix.com, and you just need to get started. Once you click on that, you're taken. Now I already have an account, so I don't have to sign up again. I'm just gonna log in. So once I'm logged in, just gonna wait for that. So this is something which I created for a demo purpose, but I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to start my new site. I'll create a new site, so that will be quite easy to understand. Okay, so I'm just creating a new site. Can you guys see the screen? No, I don't think. Yes. Okay, so like it's asked me what kind of website is I'm planning to create, right? So it can be like I'm choosing business. That's so it gives me that let's Wix ADI create a website for you. Yes, I will prefer that. Let's see what happens. Now it's asking me what kind of business is I'm looking at. I just go for hotels, luxury hotels. And I have next. Okay, so it's asking me, do I need like a chat and a booking? So because I chose hotel, luxury hotels, I will be requiring a booking. Okay, and Instagram feed, no, not required. Do I need a blog? Not required right now. Videos, not required. Events, maybe, but not now. Price, forum, reservations, orders. So not now. So I'll just go with the chat and the booking. That's about it. Uh, I'll go with Airtel. So do I have a website? I'm gonna skip that. Okay, it's just gonna ask me for a logo and my address. So I'm just gonna give uh, Chennai, my number. Just gonna put some random numbers. Social link. It's asking. I'm just gonna skip this. Just gonna go next. Now it's asking me what exactly like the theme. Now, as you can see, like it's just giving me like few themes. I'm just going with luxury. Let's see. Now it's gonna give me like a few designs which I can choose from. Okay, now that's what it's kind of creating those sections, features, and giving me a prototype. So it's kind of a luxury hotel, right? So it gave me three designs. So when I kind of scroll, this is looking more premium than the rest too. This is like plain simple vanilla. So I'll go with this, the second one. Now it's asking me, do I need to kind of create additional pages? So the first one which I chose was just the home page, the landing page where a user will come whenever they click on my domain. Okay, so I will be requiring like an about us page, rooms and suites, amenities, galleries, and contact us page. Drinks and fruits, I can skip. Events page also I can skip. Okay, so that's all the pages which I will be requiring, and it's just adding pages to my home page, and within few seconds the entire thing will be ready. Now, as you can see, like this is the site. It kind of shows me like a preview of the entire website, how it is. Now I can preview this on a different page also for both the mobile and for the desktop. So, or I can preview it here also. Now each section can be customized. For example, starting with this, right? Now, I don't like the way it's kind of showcasing, right? Uh, because it shows the Airtel hotel on top, and just below that is where my menus are. So I don't need that. I will be requiring something more elegant. For example, check this layout, like for that particular, which is like my logo will be here, and on the left hand side and right hand side will be my. Now I do have other sections which will be kind of having overlap of the menu bar on the image. So you have like a lot of things to choose from. So for example, this is like everything will be on the central line, but there's like a lot of white space. So I don't prefer this. I will go with the first one, which I chose. Okay, so this is done. I'll just go back. Do I need to add an image name? Not required right now. Then it kind of gives me an option. Do I need to add phone number? So if I click on this, it's just gonna add my number. Now, if you see my number is here, okay, and there's a button also, get in touch. So if there is a button get in touch, you don't require a phone number, because my get in touch button will have a phone number attached to it, or you can just link. That's it. So this is just the header. So once that is done, it's kind of, I just want the fonts here is not readable because of the background image. So I can just see how I can change it. So it kind of gives me like a different look and feel, right? So it has like a multiple uh, varieties and stuff. So it kind of shows me recommended, where you have like an image on the left hand side and the text on the right hand side, which is like quite clean, right? it kind of stays the kind of gives you the luxury feeling also, right? So I'll go with that. Now you can change the title, everything here. Welcomes. If you require more, you want more descriptions to be added, you can just type here. So it's kind of showcasing what exactly is the description. So it gives you that feel, right? Now, if you feel like, hey, I want this section to be on top and that sections to be down, I can just click on this, the up arrow. It kind of became the first section. And the first section, it became the second. So you have that freedom also. Now, for example, you need to add a section. Okay, so you just can click on add. So every section you will have a new section. You can have an option for a new section, or you can just add a section on the top navigation. You will have just click on that. Yeah, so it kind of you can drag and you can just you will have like a lot of sections which event spaces, right? So now if I click on event spaces, it kind of gives me different uh, sections which will be kind of look good. For example, this, I'm selecting this. So just after our main banner, I have like an event space. Now I feel like, hey, our story was supposed to come second and this third. I'm just gonna move this down. That's it. As simple as that. You can change each and every section, subtitle, the title of this particular page, everything. You can make it bold. You can make it italic. It's all in your hand. Okay, now it's just like a kind of a contact page. Now I don't require this contact page because I will be requiring like a booking page, right? Because my hotel, like I will be requiring a booking page where people can come and kind of book. So you have everything here. You will have forms, reservations. So I'm kind of click on reservation. So you have three sections. How I'll just click on this. Voila. Now I can make a description on this. It will automatically add some description. Yeah, so that's about it. Now if I need to preview this, now I need to see what is there for the mobile, right? I can edit my site just clicking on this icon for mobile. It's just loading. Yeah, that's because it's loading. It's taking a little bit time because it's just creating the site for the mobile view also. So as of now, it was just working for the, now you see like for the mobile, it's kind of overlaps with the text, right? And it kind of gives you like a very odd feel. You can just design. So it has multiple sections. Wait. Yeah. So this is like text first and then the image, or image first and then the text. So I'll go with image first and then the text, because that's much more elegant than the text first and then the image, because that will not give an idea. Now for mobile, you have like an open menu option. You can just open, you can just click online booking, room, suits, stuff. This is how it will be. So it's like you can change any element. It's just you need to know like what exactly works better for a mobile, for a desktop, because you can't add too many sections on the mobile because it will take too much time to load, and apparently it might slow down your website. So the home page has to be having limited content, because you do have an about us page, you do have like a services page where you kind of showcase your service, and so it's kind of limited words, which should be enough to tell the story about what exactly is that you do. Yes, and this is kind of a gallery. You can add a gallery also. Now you feel like you need to change, you need to add more sections, because you don't know like how many amenities are there. So amenities is already there, but it's not it's just three amenities, right? Free Wi-Fi, room service, and what to say, late checkout. So you need to add more galleries, or you do have like a gallery page. It's currently we are editing homepage now. I'm just gonna go to the galleries and see like what exactly is how it's kind of showcased. So you can see how the gallery is being kind of showcased. You do have like a different option of kind of selecting. So either you have like a tiles layout, or you have like a slider kind of a layout. This is like a scroll with it's kind of a grid, but only two images in one layout. So the current layout works, I think, much better. And so you do have an option where you can add more images. For example, if I choose this and I kind of click on preview, at times it do take a little bit of time because of the web speed a little bit less. My kind of internet is a little bit patchy. So let's go back to the edit site. You can always check, you can always preview, and you can just check. It kind of gives you like a pop-up effect of things. So this is how it is. Now I spoke about how to create like pages. You can always add more pages here, which is if you really want kind of to remove or add. So you can always kind of have settings and kind of delete it. Okay, So that's about it. Now taking it live, for example, I need to just publish it. I can just click. Now this is the URL. I kind of, because I don't have like a custom domain connected and I'm on a free plan, it will not be working. So I'm just gonna now publish it. It will just making it live. So that's it, all done. I can view the site. It opened a different window. I think I have to reshare. No, okay. Okay, so it's working fine. So this is my website. It's live. The URL which it shows is like vimalmichael.wixsite.com/Airtel. So you can just check now. Back to where I was. I'm just clicking on done. Then you share. Okay. Okay. Now I kind of need to see what's happening because I had one more site. Correct. So Wix has its own dashboard where I can see which site I can edit whichever site I want. I can have multiple sites connect to a multiple domain. So this is my site. This is kind of a dashboard which shows my site. Now there are a lot of things, a lot of steps which is needs to be complete to set up my site. It's kind of shows me uh, 2 out of 11. It will be like a what to say, add your business info, what your dish, accept table reservation or not, create a first service, work hours and stuff like that. So by adding all those things, just clicking on this, it will kind of automatically set up your site and kind of add it on your website. So whatever it's restaurant you have, you can add the menus from here, reservation, food ordering, then booking calendars, like whatever calendar stuff, you can have everything here. Now adding like a domain to your thing, you can either, so you have an option, connect a domain. Now either you can get a domain, you can click on get a domain. Now what happened is like it will ask, uh, like do you want to buy a new domain, so you can get your domain from Wix itself. So when you click on this, it's just Airtel hotel. I just click on search, it's showing me it's available. Now if I click on get it, it will ask me for upgrade. Now because I didn't upgrade it, I'm on a free plan, that's the reason. Now I don't have to buy it. If I can just upgrade for a year, I can get this domain for free and it will automatically connect it. Yes, and that's about it. I think let me just share. Yes. So that's about it on Wix. Like if you guys have any questions, please feel free to like ask.
Hi, Vimal. Actually, it was a very good session, and there are a lot of questions that have piled up. So I'll just run you through them. So you want to answer them one by one? Will that be fine?
Yeah, that will be great. Like if you can drop me on the chat itself, so I can quickly read it and I can answer that.
Sure. So I'll start with one, and I'll let you know. So the
Yeah.
first question is from Catherine Arokiraj. Catherine wants to know what is the cost to build a basic website.
On Wix or
Like on a general basis, because that's what been asked.
it Catherine, it depends on like website to website. Like if you are looking for a complex 4 to 5 pages website, uh, which will vary from like 50,000 onwards and upward. That's kind of a base. You'll get a website built uh, like a proper website that will cost you that much. But if you are going with these website builders, you don't need like a third party like help from a developer or a designer or anything on. You can just kind of directly go on a Wix or a WordPress and just pay for a monthly basis. And once you kind of feel like, hey, I need like a solid website, you can always go after that. Yep.
So
Hope that I answered your questions. Like uh, the things to keep in mind before choosing a plan or a domain name for a website. So domain name is something which should be related to the business. Now, like for example, me choosing Airtel right now, Airtel is it's not available as a hotel, right? There's no kind of thing. So the word Airtel came in my mind because it's kind of a medicine's name, and my mom is kind of used that, so it's all of a sudden came to my mind and just gave Airtel Hotel. Okay, now that's something is some you need to keep in mind, saying that like it should be relevant to the business which you are. So you need to kind of create a brand first of all. Now choosing a plan, it can be basic plan, because as a first time building a website, you don't need kind of, you need organic. Okay, now either you can go with a very basic plan where you can connect your domain. Okay, after that you kind of scale up, because uh, after a point Google will automatically kind of crawl your website and kind of showcase on Google itself whenever somebody is searching. So that's kind of an organic piece. So that's about it. Uh, what's this is, Prasad?
so advert removal is expensive. How? It's executive time. I think it's a channel. So they've asked why is it expensive to remove adverts. I
AdWords. I'm
think
not sure
probably
what
at
AdWords is. If we can
probably
be more
if
specific.
uh, I think they're mentioning advertisements. Uh, they have not given any, so probably we can guess. Yeah, actually, they're asking if advert removal is expensive in WordPress.
No, AdWords removal, like
I think they're meaning advertisements.
advertisements. It's not actually WordPress. Like for WordPress.com, if you start building your blog on that, the plan starts from $4. That's per month. It kind of goes till $45 based on like the features you want to add. See, similarly in Wix also the plan kind of starts with around 300 rupees per month, and it kind of goes till 600 rupees per month. And in which like you will not be having any ads. Like if you are kind of paying for these, you will not have any ads on your website.
Okay, he's meant that we have shown that in the cons of WordPress before. So he's referring to the slide.
Okay. Advert removal is okay. So this is like, because the WordPress is quite popular, and there are kind of chances of getting uh, what is that, malware. Okay, so malware is something, it's kind of an issue which WordPress quite face on a what to say, bi-monthly or like once in 6 months, because if you're not updating your website, apparently it is. So that's kind of like the biggest con of WordPress is like the frequency of the adverts, the malwares. So removing that is kind of an issue, because WordPress has around like 3000 plus files, and removing that is what it meant actually.
So there are a couple of other questions as well. So one is how do you speed up a website? So they're talking about the speed of the website.
Mhm.
So why do some website takes time to load and how to make the site run quick?
So it depending on like, people do put like a high resolution images. That's like the first number one mistake which they make. So if you are having like a resolution of 920 by 1024 is the image size. Okay, now that particular image might be of 2 MB, 1 to 2 MB. You put that image as it is. So what happens is like the server takes time to kind of uh, download those images on your phone, which kind of takes time, and the website indirectly kind of becomes small, like slow. So the best thing is like, you always optimize your images, and you don't have to use bigger images, because it kind of gives the clarity, because using higher resolution images will give like clarity of image on your website. That's like a wrong thing. You can always optimize to the exact resolution, and can use, or for different resolution you can use different images. That will help.
And Anurag Sharma he has a couple of questions.
Mhm.
So can we also create dynamic websites in free plans or only static?
Okay.
And also, if I have to create a website for events where new events updated regularly, with options for booking and integrated payment gateway, what would be the best way to go about it?
So Wix has an option, which Wix has an app which will kind of automate these events based on the form. So you just have to fill a form, and it will automatically like update it on the front end. Now there should be a challenge which you might face, will be like moderation, because somebody has to moderate if there's a spelling mistakes when you are kind of uploading directly. But Wix has all these things as an app. Now, including a payment gateway, yes, you have that option also. It will be like an online store. So Wix gives you all those things for free, but apparently there is like a bar on the top which kind of showcase an ad which Wix run. Apparently, that's the only drawback. So ideally, if you are kind of having like an event page where you are kind of inviting a lot of people and a payment gateway, definitely you need to have like a paid plan on Wix or any other platform.
Sure. And probably I'll take this as the last question.
Okay.
And so there's one by Mr. Rajiv Kumar. He wants to know that he has created his website, but how to make it available on Google search.
So there is Google Webmaster. You just need to create an account in Google Webmaster, and you just need and follow the steps and link your website to Google Webmaster. Once that is done, the Google Webmaster will suggest you to kind of either update a scene, record, or a file on your server, so that it's just for verification whether the website belongs to you. So once that is done, Google will crawl your website and you can see the results in the Webmaster tool itself.
So I think that's most of it. Probably one last question and we'll end up. Okay, there is one by, yeah, there is one by Mr. Prithvi. He's asking, can you give some good or bad examples of web design?
Good or bad example of web design?
Yeah. So he's probably talking about the
I'm not sure.
UX.
There's always okay. If he's talking about the UX, mm, okay. So you are familiar with the Amazon Prime or Netflix, right? So basically, if you are using that particular template and kind of using it for a real estate or Amazon website, right? Amazon website is quite cluttered with all the what do you say, products and stuff, right? Now imagine using that website for a hospital industry where you have a lot of services, like multiple. It's a multi-specialty hospital, and you are using that theme as this. So it's like the best UX is like UX can't be same for all websites. It's like if it works for one, it will not work for another. Okay, so it's kind of a trend, right? UX is a trend. If definitely it's working for an, even though the UX is pretty bad for Amazon, but people do still come back and visit, buy items on it, right? Why? Because it's kind of a trend which they follow, and what works for one will not. It's not mandatory that it will work for everyone. That's what the UX people should understand. So do research before like thinking what works. If even though if website is quite classy, quite fancy looking and stuff, and it will create like a wow factor, we will not sure that everything is working perfectly on that particular website.
Sure. Yeah.
All
So thank you, Vimal. It was a really good session, and I think most of the questions have been answered. And we have given the feedback form as well. And kindly go and give in your feedbacks of the session. And if you have further questions, also, we'll reach out to you. And I think we can call this session an end. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of insights and other things, takeaways from the session. So we'll get back to you with yet another good session like today's, and we'll get back for the feedbacks as well.
thank you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Bye bye.